Alright, so I was studying STEM last night. The actual TEM, TEM. Uh, what is it? They were looking at atoms, and they were explaining the optics behind how to get the shadow's resolution of a light cone because there's a causal limit of light, and therefore kind of sets the cone to say that's what its wave function is based on a few things. The geometry of the flashlight that says here, given the transformation of stack and wave functions and
Hello.
doing
In
things,
this
it
video, we
becomes
are
how do
going
you
to
tap UV?
characterize an
How do you get
aspect
a
of light
nail
waves by
this thing
looking
to
at what frequency
spontaneously
and
combust
wavelength are and how they are
by
related to the speed of light.
anti-force of the universe go against UV
First,
right
we need
now,
to
and
understand
neutrons
what
passing
frequency
through you right
is,
now, not even
frequency's
weakly
relationship to
interacting. You
wavelength,
crazy.
how frequency is measured, and finally, looking at how frequency and wavelength are related to the speed of
So you
light.
can stack some stuff up,
And
but it
after
is
all
to say the
that,
nails
we
mechanics to
should be
make
able to
it
see why the speed of light is
magnetic and
always
therefore
equal to
magnetic
its
to
wavelength
get a
times its
relay running
frequency.
on the
So
hertz
we have
here
the added
as far as
bonus of
frequency
gaining
of the
some insight
new
into the
the wave
beauty of the
function,
ability of
the
mathematics
frequency of the
to
wave function
describe
is a new,
nature.
the v, the velocity yf
So,
over
first
x,
question, what
voltage
is frequency?
v
The
for
symbol for
limit
frequency
ohms
is the
would
Greek
usually be in
letter
here.
nu, which unfortunately
How
bears a
much
striking
energy is it
resemblance to
emitting?
the letter V,
Neo
but it
as
is
far
a
as
nu. We define
what that
frequency as
is.
how
So
often a wave
with
cycle
tapping radio
passes through a given
signals,
point
there's
per
way to do
second.
it. Tapping a battery,
A wave
there's
cycle is a single
that's going
up-down
to
motion,
sidle by
so we
virtue of a
can
9
think of
volt
the
battery,
wave
and that's
as
going to do that
consisting of a
congruent
series
across
of
all
wave cycles.
the whole entire
And
wire,
we will
9
put
volt,
a
9
line
volt,
at the wavefront
unless
to
there's something
indicate
that
a
breaks
point in
that
space.
FMA.
So you can see that a moving wave has some amount
In
of
there,
wave
that's where
cycles
its
passing a
peak
given point
is, and so
per
you have
unit
to get
time.
used to those jumps on there to be able to actually
Now
get
let's
a
take a
wire
look at the
harness
relationship
inside of
between
there to be
frequency
able
and
to pick
wavelength.
up on the frequency,
We
deal
know
with the
that
causal limit
frequency
of
has the
speed
symbol nu,
in terms
and
of
here we can
not
see the
just
symbol for
the
wavelength,
ball,
the Greek
but
letter
that
lambda.
flaming sunshine
Wavelength is
floating around here
defined as the
somewhere.
distance from one wave to the next. You can see here two
You
different
do all that.
waves. The top wave has a longer wavelength. The
You'll
bottom
be on
wave
there on
has a shorter
Wednesday. You'll
wavelength.
be there. It's like doesn't
Both
matter this
waves will
guy or
move
me.
at the
It's like
same
their
speed.
throw is here.
So
I'm
how
here.
will
Two of
different
them inside
wavelengths
here
affect their frequency?
is
The amount of wave
one with
cycles
oneself.
passing through
Oogway.
the yellow line.
Honestly,
To bring the point home, each wave will flash as it passes
I'll
the
line up
yellow
over the
line.
week, and if you get that
You can
sunshine lined
see
up
that the
just right,
shorter wavelength flashes
those
more
pings and blinks and
frequently
tinks will
than
save
the
energy.
longer
Really,
wavelength.
dark back to
But
fermionics.
before we connect
Pulling it
this
out
with
real
light
good,
waves,
getting it to
we
do
need to
anything other than
understand how
gravity
frequency
wants to
is
do
measured.
with it. Oof, bottle on
Frequency is
that.
defined as the number of cycles passing a given point per second.
So I'm
Here,
sure
we put a
you do
counter on both the wave
the
cycles and on time.
3 sine
For the
2
top wave,
theta
we
minus
see
1x
that 6 cycles passes through
over
in 7 seconds.
over 1.
Dividing 6 cycles by 7 seconds gives a frequency, or nu, of
You
0.86
electrocute it.
cycles
That's what
per
you get.
second. The shorter wavelength at the bottom gives a frequency of 2.1 cycles per second.
It means I can run at this
So here we
negative.
get a better view of
It's
the
negative
relationship
237.
between
I don't know
frequency
which
and
wave
wavelength.
function this is,
The longer the
but seeing
wavelength, the
that
smaller the
I know
frequency,
1420 is
and the shorter
hydrogen,
wavelength has a larger
that
frequency.
set a match to it.
So
It'll
frequency
go off
and
along with a bunch of
wavelength
other
have
stuff.
an
They
inverse
have
relationship.
different periods as
It is
far
important
as
to notice here that the unit for
how Lilith's
frequency
feeling
is
today.
simply
Clearly,
per second.
different
We
wave functions.
say cycles per second, but mathematically it is only expressed as per second, which is often expressed as s
2020,
to the negative 1.
2022.
Finally, hertz is another way to express cycles per second. All of these are in common
Ben
use.
Lambda down here, field charge.
Now let's talk about the speed of light so we can tie it to frequency and wavelength. Speed is how long it takes to get from one place to another. Let's say you happen to have a friend standing 300 million meters away from Earth, or about 23 and a half.
The causal timelines work on cycles as well, and if the object is a ball, a saw, a generator, a circuit that you're in terms of that circuit has a frequency that this part gets done, that part gets done, and that'll continue in the Greek alphabet
and so it takes 1
phatismal,
second for the flash of red light to reach your
the
friend.
infinitely diminishing return of a monopole is the ability to turn a magnet into light into stuff that does stuff to dig more magnets and get more light.
It would take 1.23 seconds for your light to go 370 million meters to the moon. The sunlight we see reflected from the moon's surface takes 1.23 seconds to reach the Earth.
Any math thesis is a structured walk problem. The ball there, again, against how causal works, would be timeline. And most people on Earth observe this being, because objects, like, you can find it, you put it on Jupiter with these numbers. It doesn't necessarily mean that it'll be that way on Alpha Centauri. The numbers will be that way, yes, but they will not be that way, yes.
Knowing that the speed of light is a constant will give us access to the mathematical relationship it has with wavelength and frequency.
That's how you do it on my planet, anti-life equation.
First, you should know that the wavelengths of light cover
a very wide spectrum. Like every other rookie on my planet, you can't just get guitar playing here. You gotta get the Johnny B. Good and the Devil Went Down to Georgia thing.
And that we have evolved to detect with our own nervous system. And so this is the visible spectrum.
That's all salty mad. We're going back. We're trying to go this way. Again, ultraviolet. Maximum of it. Throw a wave here. Any tractor force pick up on the equipment. And according to the rules of molar masses, it taking sodium nitrate or potassium nitrate. If you get the molar masses wrong, it'll either fuzzle out or explode. And that's a pretty big difference given the high and low peak of supersymmetry and simultaneous relativity. Could be in either of those positions at this moment, really.
Before we head into the final lap, let's make sure we have our symbols and units straight, which can often be confusing. Each symbol simply represents a specific measure. It is really the unit that is most important.
Something like
the
that.
Unit gives meaning
and then from there,
to the
wavelengths are up. The top one being
so
length.
how are wavelength and frequency related to the speed of light? If we look at the units
on the downhill side of that, you can also be Euler, I suppose. And maybe you're relative. You're upside down pineapple cake factory about it. They cancel each other out.
The unit of frequency.